Hey y'all, my name is Ashley and today I'm going to be trying out and doing a first impression on Glamlite's Icee Cherry palette. If that sounds interesting to you and you want to see how I got this look on my eyes, then go ahead and keep on watching. Let's just dive right into the Glamlite Icee Cherry palette. So just like the Blue Raspberry palette, this has 12 shades. It's going to have 7 mattes and 5 shimmers. This is what the palette looks like. See, this one has a white. I feel like that Blue Raspberry palette should have also had a white, but it's my fault for not opening both and doing both in one video to see that there was a white in here. But let's go ahead and swatch the mattes. So the first shade is going to be Cool Taste. Then we got the shade Epic. The shade FLAVORIFIC. Man, they're just making up them words right here, aren't they? We got the shade Wild Cherry. Then Smile. The shade Treat. And the shade Sweet. So these are all the mattes swatched. And just like before, I'm going to go ahead and take some micellar water and a makeup eraser and take this off my arm, and then we'll swatch the shimmer shades. So the Blue Icee palette did stain my arm a little blue. This palette is staining my arm a little red, but what do you expect with such bright and vibrant tones and pressed pigments? I think these are pressed pigments. Let me see. So let's go ahead and dive into the shimmers. The first shade I'm going to be swatching is White Cherry. Oh wow, and that is beautiful. Then we're gonna go for Colorful Tongue. And I am wiping my finger off in between every swatch. So I'm not just like, hey, I'm gonna just touch every single one of them. The next shade is the shade Fruity. Then the shade Funtastic. And finally, the shade Frosted Cherry. So these are all the shimmer shades. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the deeper, darker red tone shades is what is calling my name from this palette. So most likely that is what I'm going to be playing with today. Man, I'm just like looking at this palette and all I can think is, man, the Valentine looks you can make with this. I'm super excited. I'm so excited because if this palette is as beautiful and powerful and bold as the Blue Raspberry palette, I'm definitely gonna be using a lot of this one too. So I'm just gonna show you what it looks like one more time before I start doing my eye makeup, and we'll dive right in. So now that you're zoomed in, I'm gonna start off by priming my eyes with Suvia Beauty's Prime and Paint eye base, and this is going to be the white one. This is the same eye base that I used in the Blue Raspberry palette. I'm using this one because, like I said before, I like using a white base to make the colors much more bold, powerful, in your face. And yeah, so I'm gonna also just do one eye on camera, just like before, because I don't think you need to see me do both eyes. So that's just me. I'm gonna start off by using the shade Treat. And I'm just going to be placing it on my outer corner and then bringing it up into my crease. Man, look how like powerful that is already. This is gonna be great. So I'm just gonna blend it in. And to soften that line, I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade Cool Taste just to blend it and so it's not just like kind of harsh. I'm actually gonna use the shade Epic. I'm gonna go ahead and scratch that. So we're gonna use the shade Epic to soften that line. Add a little bit of a pinky red in there. I'm gonna take a clean fluffy brush and just blend it all together. I'm gonna take the shade Epic again, and I'm actually gonna bring it all the way down my crease. I'm dipping back into the shade Treat just to deepen it back up again, just because I think I did a little too much blending. So while I'm blending my eyeshadow, you notice I'm blending down. I personally don't have like the largest amount of eye space. So I always kind of like outline what I want to do, and then I always blend down. I never do, well, that's a lie, because I do like, you know, the circles and the swishies, but I blend down before I start blending out. That way I don't overdo my makeup, make it go like way out there. So that is why you see me doing like this patting and dragging motion, because I am blending it downwards. And if it's a little messy, it's fine, because I'm going to end up cutting the crease anyway. I'll take more of this shade Treat, and I'm actually going to bring it closer to the center of my eyelid, because I think I'm going to deepen out the outer corner with the shade Sweet. So I'm going to be dipping into the shade Sweet. I'm just going to put a little bit out here, just to, there we go. That's what this needed. It's a little bit more depth. I'm ready to go ahead and cut the crease. I'm going to be using the Suvia Prime and Paint eye base again. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on my little glass palette here, use a little detailing brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it probably just halfway through my eye. I've got my crease kind of cut. I only went halfway through my eye. But I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade White Cherry with my finger and press it where I cut the crease. Now I'm gonna take a little detailing brush, dip into White Cherry, and clean up around the line. I'm also going to dip my finger into the shade Colorful Tongue, and I'm going to apply that just on the end of the shade White Cherry, so that way everything blends really nicely into the reds. Oh yes, that is what that needed. Now it's time to move on to the under eye. I'm gonna dip into the shade Epic again, and I'm going to bring it from my inner corner to about halfway through my eye right there. Just to blend everything through. And then I'm going to take the shade Smile and finish out the under eye. So now that the majority of my eye look is done, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera, add some liner, and I'll be right back. All right, so I finished off my makeup, and this is the final look. And I did add some of Suvia Beauty's Hydra Liners. I added the shade Bomb AF, and I put that just right here above my crease, and then under my wing, I put in the shade Rose Gold. So just to add a little bit more pop, I'm a fan of adding a little bit of graphic liner to all of my looks. If you're curious on what's on my lips, I actually have two About Face lippies on. On my top lip, I kind of lined it with the shade Fireside. And then I did the rest of it and the entire bottom lip in the shade Sarcatchewine. I don't even know how to say that, but it'll be down in the description below. Let's talk about my first impressions of Glamlite's Cherry palette. I actually really like this one. I thought I was gonna like the blue one more, which is why I did the video first for the blue one, but I actually think I like the cherry one more. I love all the shades, even though a lot of the red shades in here are more pinky tone reds, but I absolutely love it, especially with Valentine's coming up. This is definitely going to be a grab palette. I like how there is a white in here, unlike the other palette, because that way it's not just all reds and a little bit of pink. You can just, you know, pop that white shimmer on and then do with the reds and the pinks. This is a pretty great palette. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like and subscribe so you can get some future content from me. But until then, thank y'all.